Hey everybody, it's Candace and welcome to Ambition, Honey, and Hustle. Today is the 4th of July, Independence Day. So it's the day that we talk about freedom for the U.S., but let's talk about freedom for us right quick. We'll talk about it after the theme song. So the big question is this: how do we ambitious professionals avoid the slow-moving career, take control of our time, and get paid for two things? Doing what excites us and making an impact bigger than anyone ever thought was possible. That is the question, and this podcast has the answers. My name is Candace Spears, and welcome to Ambition, Honey, and Hustle. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. You know, I'm thinking about Independence Day, and I know everybody, well, we all, this nation, the U.S. in particular, celebrates Independence Day from the standpoint of, 1776, July 4th, Declaration of Independence, United States becoming an independent nation, all this good stuff. But I think about it in another context too. So thinking about the fact that we're celebrating freedom, however, it's freedom for the U.S., it's a good time to think about freedom and independence for yourself as well. My neighbor every year will generally, although I didn't see it this year, but they'll generally line their driveway with these little independence flags. And there must be, oh my gosh, I don't know, maybe 100 of them, maybe 50 on each side. And as I see them waving, at least in past years, haven't seen them this year, so it's very noticeable. But I think about each flag almost representing some piece or some element of freedom, whether that means, and freedom in your personal life. So not talking about as a nation, as a government, but freedom in your personal life. So whether that means, freedom from certain people who may bring negative energy or don't necessarily help and support you along your journey, whether that means freedom from a job that doesn't allow you to be the mother that you need to be, or doesn't allow you to be the creative individual that you need to be, or the freedom to just go out and impact the lives of people that you want to touch. Doing things in the community or having access to people that could help carry your message. There's so many different ways that we can think about freedom and individual freedoms. And so I'm going to challenge you today on this wonderful Independence Day, even though we're celebrating Independence Day and independence of the U.S. and United States, but to think about your own independence. And one of the exercises that I like to do to just sit and visualize, not necessarily for freedoms, but I think this is a good one to apply to visualizing freedom, is to just whip out a piece of paper. And I want you to sit back and think about the question of, what does freedom look like for me? What freedoms am I after? Just take a piece of paper. You can even grab some crayons, some markers, some colored pencils, whatever you want to do if you want to get fancy. Take out this piece of paper and draw a picture of what that looks like. What does freedom look like? What do you see? Who's in that picture? What's in that picture? And just spend a few minutes drawing out a picture that answers that question. Don't think too much about it. Just draw. What does freedom look like for me? Now, after you finish that picture, take a look at it and stare at it for a little while and pull out at least 3 things that you see. Maybe it's certain people that aren't in your life today. Maybe it's certain opportunities that aren't in your life today. Maybe you're a part of new organizations that aren't in your life today. Or maybe you're spending your time differently than you are today. Just take a second and list out all the different things that you see from the picture. Now, after you've done that, in the spirit of freedom and independence, I want you to do an honest assessment. And I want you to ask yourself, for these freedoms that I've identified, are the actions that I'm taking every day getting me towards those freedoms that I want? Now, this is going to be a hard look in the mirror for some of you, and for others it may be super easy. But really honestly say, the freedoms that I've identified, are my actions aligning with the freedom that I want to get? And if they're not, I want you to seriously think about is this what I really want? If it is what I really want, recognize and know there's a course of action for you to change. So every action that you have going forward, think about that list. Jot down your freedoms, post it up. Think about that assessment question as you're just going about your daily life. That'll help you at least start to say, all right, for what I want to chase, for those freedoms that I want, okay, my actions are in alignment. Or no, this is totally taking me off the path of the freedom that I want to get to. So let me rethink that. Nothing like having visuals in front of you to help you keep you guided down the path. So with that, I want to say to you all, have a fantastic 4th of July or any other holiday or regular day of the week when you happen to be listening to this podcast. And I hope to talk to you very, very soon. Keep going. Listen, the hustle can be tiring. All this ambition, all this moving, fast pace, getting it done. So what do? You surround yourself with the energy and the motivation to keep going. And you know where you find that energy and motivation? Right here on this podcast. So if you haven't already, listen, follow, share, subscribe. I'm on here every day bringing you that energy, and with my special guest, bringing you the motivation that you need to keep pushing further and further into your bigger impact. If we haven't got connected already, let's get connected on Instagram. You can follow me at Candace Spears. I look forward to catching up with you very soon.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.